The next time you're at the thrift store, look for candlesticks and finials, anything that has joints that screw together but also can be unscrewed. Once you get home, take apart your pieces so you know how it is assembled. This finial screws together with a metal rod through the center. I found some small pumpkins that, when stacked, are about the same size as the middle piece of the finial, but I want to decorate the pumpkins first. Using a paper napkin, first separate the napkin so you have only the top layer. Using some Mod Podge decoupage glue, brush the top half of the pumpkin and cover it with the paper napkin. With your finger, press the paper napkin into the grooves of the pumpkin. You can also fold and pleat the napkin so it fits the round shape of the pumpkin. Flip the pumpkin over and apply the decoupage glue to the bottom half of the pumpkin. Cover the rest of the pumpkin with a paper napkin, cutting, pleating, and folding as needed to cover it. Once covered, give the entire pumpkin an additional coat of decoupage glue. Let your newly decorated pumpkins dry completely. Once dry, create a pilot hole through the top of the pumpkin with a large needle or bamboo stick. Then take the original finial metal rod and push it through the top of the pumpkin and out the bottom of the pumpkin. This takes a little bit of gentle pressure as you push it through the pumpkin. Do the same with any other pumpkins you're using. With all of your pumpkins skewered onto the rod, start to assemble the finial. Your finial or candlestick now has a fun and colorful fall pumpkin twist. Candlesticks come in all shapes and sizes. The candlestick easily unscrewed so I could remove the hurricane and exchange it for a faux pumpkin. This pumpkin needs some decorating too. Remove the pumpkin stem and apply a thin layer of metal leaf adhesive onto a small patch on the pumpkin. Take a small sheet of gold leaf and lay it over the top of the adhesive. Metal leaf is very, very thin and will tear easily. Just know it will tear. This is not a problem. The sheets do not have to be evenly added to the pumpkin. Then, take a cotton cloth, or even better, a cotton glove, and gently buff the outside of the pumpkin. This particular candlestick did not have a metal rod in the center. Instead, all of the pieces were screwed together. So it was easy to glue the pumpkin to the bottom piece, and then glue the top of the candlestick to the top of the pumpkin. However they are constructed, candlesticks and finials are a great, fun way to add a little pumpkin fun into your home decor.
I grabbed a pool noodle at Dollar Tree and pretty flowers for Michael's. Any guesses what I'm making today? First things first, we need to cut this pool noodle to the width of my bookshelf. I marked a cut line with a Sharpie and cut it with a scissors, then I cut a slit lengthwise down the entire pool noodle. Now we can open up the pool noodle and pop it onto the front edge of our bookshelf like so. And now for the fun part, adding all of our pretty flowers. I used a wire cutter to trim the flowers into individual stems, and then you simply poke the wire end of each flower into the foam pool noodle and push it in until the flowers are placed how you want them. Isn't this such a clever decorating hack? I started by adding some greenery on both ends, and then I added my largest flowers to the center as a focal point. I worked my way from the edges to the middle from there, layering in more and more stems as I went. I focused on balancing both sides with similar colors and sizes of florals, and I kept going until all of the gaps were filled in, so the foam pool noodle was completely hidden from view. One thing to keep in mind as you arrange your flowers is to play around with the depth and height. Don't be afraid to mix in different textures, sizes, and colors to add more depth and dimension. And don't you think this would be such a genius decorating hack for weddings and other special occasions? And the cool part is that you could use this technique not just on bookshelves, but also on the edges of other surfaces like mantles, windowsills, tables, counters, or even the tops of cabinets. I was so curious to give this project a try and see if it really worked, and I'm really impressed with the results. I styled my bookshelves with some earth tone decor for fall, and I love how the whole look turned out on my living room built-ins.
Run to the dollar store. You're going to need a couple of candles. After you have some candles, go over to your local hardware store and pick up some of this silicone. It should be 100% silicone, and it should also be some of the cheaper stuff that smells like vinegar. And this is what we're going to be using some of our material on to go and make a mold. I'm also using some clay. I am using Monster Clay. It is a reusable wax type clay. You could use polymer clay as long as it's baked, or anything that you can get smoothed down that will not be squishy. It has to be hard. So we're going to go and sculpt a brain. We're going to go and put a divot in the center of this. You could also maybe find a brain or something like that at a craft store. I just couldn't find any that were smoothed out. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put these little tiny divots and also ripples that are on the edges and try to make them look similar at the sides. Any marks or divots need to be smoothed out slightly. And now let's go and get our surface prepared. That also needs to go and cool down and harden again. I am using some parchment paper over a old baking sheet, going and cutting the silicone caulking open, making sure it's punctured and putting it into this very, very heavily used caulking gun. You want to get all of the silicone out of this tube. There's actually a lot in here. It's very surprising as to the amount that is definitely in here. You also want to do this in a well-ventilated area because this does smell heavily of vinegar. Now after you have all of that out, we're going to go and take some cornstarch and we're going to start to add it slowly into this mixture. Take it, powder it over there, put a very generous amount on the top, and we're going to start to go and mix it. Now initially starting off, I did wear a pair of gloves to go and do this, and just the silicone stuck to everything and it completely and totally ruined this project. But we're going to continue to go and add more cornstarch in, go and mix it up, and it should clump together just like this. So the easiest thing to do is go and powder your hands with some cornstarch and make sure you have them powdered throughout this entire time that you're going to go and use this almost like you would use clay. Now we're going to get this into a ball, take a small piece of it off. We don't need to go and prep the surface as long as it's nice and smooth. And we're going to take this and we're just going to spread it all over our entire piece that we're making a mold of. You do want to go and press this and go and shape it and form it around this. And don't be afraid to really just press in because you want to get all those details. Now let's powder our hands again, and we're going to go and put some of the remainder of this onto our sculpted brain, or if you had one that you were able to find at a craft store, maybe your brain sculpture that you had purchased that was pre-made. Now we're just going to go and cup this around, press it again, and we're going to wait for this to go and set. Now it only takes about 30 minutes for this to set, but you want to wait about 24 hours just because it may still be a little bit sticky inside. The brain came out pretty easily, and removing this, it's probably best to actually go and cut the sides on both sides only slightly, and it's a lot easier to go and peel anything out. Now we're going to take these candles, let it boil in some of the water, and as that is boiling, we're going to go and just get 2 holes cut into the top of both of these, and you want to make sure this goes all the way through. Now that the wax and the candles have melted, we can go and remove these wicks, and we're going to use these wicks for the candles. When you're not stirring or putting something into the candle, make sure to keep it in the hot water. Now we're going to take crayon, put it back in the hot water, wait for that to go and melt, and while we're doing that, you can take a toothpick, go and thread one of the wicks through this hole that you made before, pull it, and we're going to go and do that to both of these different molds. And let's just go and put either some sort of maybe tongue depressor, popsicle stick, whatever you would like to call it, in place just to go and keep the wicks from moving too much. You can use a small amount of tape too. Then we can start to go and pour our wax. Now the red is going to set to be almost a pale pink, and the other is going to go and set to be a white color. You can also add some essential oil at this point if you'd like to. Now after about another 24 hours, just because you want to make sure these are fully set, you can go and remove these. The brain was easy to go and remove, but the skull, on the other hand, was a little bit harder. So removing the skull, I had to kind of just pop it out of place very carefully, and it did remove some of the wax from the sides. Then we're just going to go and cut the wick, and we can remove the popsicle stick from the bottom. Then you can go and pull the wick into place. These candles make such a great Halloween decoration. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.